Hello, this is Mike McClernand. I'm the owner of Assisted Living Locators on Long Island. I help people match up to the best assisted living or memory care community. Today's video is about the first day, the first week, the first month in a memory care community. My guest today is Julie Wexler of the Bristol organization. Julie, would you introduce yourself, please?
Thank you so much, Michael. I'm Julie Wexler, the Director of Business Development for the Bristol Assisted Living.
Julie, so a family has seen the cognition of cognitive abilities of their parent, an older relative, decline, and it's impossible to care for them at home. So they need to find a memory care community. Would you really briefly describe what memory care is and the conditions and disease states that lead someone to choosing memory care?
Sure. So person moving into memory care is going to be a person who needs a smaller, more structured, more supportive environment. Reflections neighborhoods at the Bristol are specifically designed not only to keep our residents safe, but also to provide the best quality of life for them. So what would be some of the factors that would necessitate somebody needing to move into Reflections? Well, certainly if they were a wander risk. So if they didn't have the judgment anymore to know not to just walk outside the building,
Sure.
they would need a secured memory neighborhood. And that's what Reflections can provide for you. And so what that means is that the unit is locked with a keypad. It also means that the residents wear what we call a wander guard. So if they were to figure out that keypad, the alarms would go off appropriately. But also it's the way that the staff are trained, the way that the staff communicate with the residents, the structure of the day, the way that we serve the meals, the way that we run activities. Everything is designed to support and promote a sense of safety and independence.
So Julie, you have a person who already has cognitive difficulties. That person may have difficulty figuring out what's going on in the home that they've lived in for 50 years, and now we propose to move them.
Mm-hmm.
And I know from my own personal experience, that's a very difficult transition. The senior just isn't able to accept change and doesn't really understand what's happening. What's the first day like in memory care? And is it harder on the family or the senior?
Yeah, you're right. So listen, we know that moving is hard at any age, right? Even young people have a difficult time moving. We know that it's one of the biggest life stressors. And I do find in general that when a family is moving a loved one into Reflections, it typically is harder for the family. And this is the reason why we spend so much time and so much care on the front end before the person even moves in. We want to know as much as we can about this person that we're going to be caring for. What did they do for a living? What is their daily routine like now? What are their favorite foods? What motivates them? And also just speaking with families about what their wishes are, and because there's so much guilt involved, right? Are they going to be able to take care of them like I take care of them? And they're making this major life decision on behalf of their mother or their father or their spouse, a person who can no longer make that decision. So there's so much fear and guilt and trepidation. And we really spend a lot of time with families just putting their mind at ease, making sure that they have met all of the key staff, that the people that are going to be taking care of their loved one before the person even moves in. And like I said, we want to make sure we get to know this person as much as possible before they get to us. The other thing we encourage families to do is to make the environment as familiar for them as possible. Try to move the furniture in the day before so that the day that the person is moving in, it's not about hanging the pictures or moving the furniture. So try to kind of recreate maybe what their bedroom looks like, utilizing artwork, pictures of the family, favorite pieces of furniture, even their clothing, all these things that are, familiar to them. So, and the staff can utilize those things to kind of give them a sense of reassurance, and make them feel like they're safe. So listen, every family is different, and we always consult with the family on how that first day will go. Some families are comfortable using what we call therapeutic fibs. This is maybe rehab for you, or maybe, I've moved families in where we've told their loved one that, there was going to be some construction on the house. We found this beautiful senior hotel where you're going to stay. Very often, like I said, families are so concerned, and I can't tell you how many times I would get a phone call the next morning. Are you ready to pick my mom up? Because they have this impression that mom is just screaming and crying and pounding on the door to get out. And I can tell you, Michael, it for the vast majority of people, it doesn't happen that way. And I think that says a lot about the physical space, about the environment, the routine of the day, and that we're able to make people feel safe right off the bat. So we consult with the families, we come up with a moving plan, a move-in day plan that everyone is comfortable with. We generally say to families, just go, leave them maybe around mealtime and just go. And we will try to send pictures throughout that first day to reassure families that they're okay and they're eating dinner with their new girlfriends and they're participating in activities. The vast majority of time, this transition goes a lot smoother than families ever anticipate. There are some times that we do need to be in consultation with the medical team, with their doctors, and address certain situations. But if we have the information and we work as a team, we can get you and your loved one through this and have a very, very positive transition into our memory.
Thank you, Julie. I think a common perception for people who have dementia is that they can't communicate, they're in wheelchairs, they're sleeping half the day. It's sort of an old-fashioned idea of what nursing homes are all about. And in any new situation, it's easier if you can make friends. So a person coming in with some level of cognitive difficulty is going to encounter what? What are the other people like? What is the population like, and how possible is it for someone who has some cognitive difficulties to still find a friend and find a positive social relationship within memory care?
Well, our memory neighborhoods are typically at least, 25 to 30 residents plus, right? So we know that social interaction and having that friend is so important. It's important to everyone, right? So we do work hard to, even in the dining area, to connect people that are at similar functioning levels, that might have similar interests. Maybe the veterans you're sitting together at a table, and maybe, the ladies who are very talkative are together, so that they can continue and really kind of exercise that ability to communicate. So we do work very hard to make sure that people are making friends, and are feeling a sense of community when they move
About safety, the reason that a lot of people transfer from home to a memory care community is because they're falling or they have other safety issues, and it's just not possible to have them at home anymore. What do you do in a memory care community to ensure safety?
So safety is always our top priority, right? So we know first and foremost that the unit is secured, it's locked. But the other thing that we make sure is that the environment is safe and prevents falls. We also do an assessment upon move-in to determine whether or not the person could benefit from any kinds of physical therapy. So maybe it's about, strength training and improving balance, things like that. But we also, safety is also getting proper nutrition. And so it's making sure that they're eating and getting the right diet. It's also about hydration. So we're making sure that they're taking in water. So it's, safety is not just the falls, and we do everything we can, like I said, to prevent falls. We do 2-hour bed checks, during the overnight as well, to make sure that the person is safe and sleeping. And we encourage the use of walkers and other assistive devices if the person has balance concerns. I also want to mention that at the Bristol Lake Success, which is our memory care only community, we have a system called Foresight. And Foresight is actually a fall prevention and health monitoring program, software that is helping us to be more proactive and also to have an immediate response to falls.
Julie, that's an exciting technology. I think that finding people who have fallen or preventing their falls within assisted living or memory care is just critical. And I think that technology is probably part of our future in memory care, isn't it?
Yeah, and the technology doesn't replace great staff. It really is just another tool that we use to help keep our residents safe.
Julie, thank you very much for your time today.
It's my pleasure.